everyone. Thought it was about time I did a video update. Um, Basically, I've been a bit burnt out. So let's go through the main bits. So the Kickstarter cases were shipped. I think I shipped them all by about November, October last year, something like that. So they're all gone. There's about 6 people that haven't bothered to fill in the paperwork, etc. And there's a couple that left it very, very late, and they're going to go with the next batch. But basically, they're all done and dusted now. And so I opened up, where I opened up the ordering system for another batch, and I shut it down about 2 weeks later because I didn't want to get out of hand. As you know, this is not my day job. So we had about 170 orders, 170 case orders came in. So I placed once, just for that. I placed all the orders, and the metalwork is in the paint shop at the moment. The circuit boards, they're all sitting in the office. I've had them for quite some time. Thankfully, they came before the whole coronavirus thing kicked off, because they probably would have been delayed, and the cables and so on, because as you know, China's kind of shutting down. So the only thing I'm waiting for is the metalwork to come out of the paint shop, which is quite good. So yes, basically I did, as you're probably aware, what I was doing with the cases. Where the design was never tiring. That's kind of where it wasn't tiring. It was the actual building the cases that kind of took it out of me. Not necessarily physically, but doing a 9 to 5 day job, having a young baby who's now just gone past a year old, and so going up to the office after bath time, baby's bath days, and then working till 2 in the morning, sort of 3 or 4 nights a week. It was just becoming too much. So which I was quite pleased about, having this 2 or 3 month break. If you ordered a case, I put it on the ordering system. It says 3 months delivery, and so I'm within reason amount of that. So yeah, so that's those cases will be right. I'm hoping probably the week after next. I was hoping to have them the first half of February, but I think it's going to fall into the second half of February. And then we'll start shipping those cases out. Now, once they're mostly shipped, I will open the ordering system up again. Now, I have actually over ordered cases, so I'll probably have 50 to 60 cases in stock. So you're not going to get it before. I'm going to ship out the second batch first to get that lot gone. But what it means is the turnaround should be quicker on this next batch, so it's kind of getting quicker each time. And then as I've made people aware, I've got enough plastics left to make about 500 more cases. Is it four after this batch? Probably another 400 sets of plastics. I have to decide whether I'm going to be what I'm going to do with this. I'm not doing it dribs and drabs, so because of the office is expensive. So if I'm kind of going to make it. If I sell out this 60, 70 that are going to be spare, if I sell them pretty quick, then I'll keep the office open, and then I'll get another batch ordered. And we'll see how it goes. But I'm not 100% sure whether after the plastics are all gone, whether we're going to continue making these. I think it might just be like the 1,000, 1,200 cases was enough for this market. However, with this batch, when this batch is shipped out, I'm going to be doing some promotional ones. There's some key YouTubers I'm going to send some out to for review. And so if that generates interest, then that'll be quite good, and we'll go with that. Okay, so another thing is I want to thank obviously my Kickstarter backers. Couldn't have done this without them, and also my Facebook group people. They've been absolutely fantastic. So you all kind of looked after yourselves, and one of the reasons I'm happy to continue this, because I've not had to do everything in order to support and answer, I'm not going to say silly questions, but answer the simple questions. The Facebook group have been really good and self-supporting, which has been absolutely fantastic. So that's actually made my life a lot easier, and hopefully that will continue. Obviously, I go in there and answer questions as well, obviously. But if it's done through there, then other people can answer and give their experience, which has been very good. The I'm expecting my day job to be quite busy this year. There's when I did the Kickstarter, wasn't overly busy. I was doing obviously my most, but I wasn't as busy as I am now. So this last 2 or 3 months is actually really lucky because I took on a big development, which I might put a link to. Oh, actually no, I won't because it's not done yet. But I may put a link to the company I work for so that you can see that my day job obviously funds all this. You know, it kind of allows me to do this without having to take money out of the cases, etc. So that's always good. But I'm going to be quite busy for the next year, and so it's whether I've got time, how much time I'm going to have. Now, of course, if the promotional stuff kicks off and the cases go nuts, then that's all good. And then we'll have to decide which I keep going, the cases or the day job. Okay, so I want to talk about something that one of the things to do with this whole don't I do this full time is something I'm trying to get off the ground. Now, this is, and I've spoken to Mike, and Mike's still getting a lot of grief. I wish he'd leave him alone. The same with him. As I've always said before, there's no blame here with anyone. Yes, the two parties are arguing, and I wish they would resolve it. Now, there is a story going about it, something in August, so this may actually get resolved, and I hope it does, because people like myself who actually want to commit to this community and to make it more than just a hobby like everything else has been so far is pretty difficult. So some stability would be good. Now, on this basis, if you'd been at the swag recently, you'd have seen me talking about my new, well, it's not a new idea actually, hang on, it's quite an old idea. So, a number of years ago I did this product. Which was pretty successful. And I'm doing, not quite the same, but I'm doing something similar, and it's going to be called the Amiga Hybrid. Now, it's important to understand, I don't have the rights to use the name yet. I am trying to do this correctly and talking to Mike and everyone about this, so we're trying to do this. Now, if it could become official, I can use the name, then that will give me a good reason to start pushing further. I will do a video on this, but basically the Amiga Hybrid is very similar to this, but it's around emulation. So it's Windows or Linux with the Amiga's emulator, but the Amiga emulator booting into the emulation. Okay, I mean it's nothing particularly new, but with the complete system supplied in the case. So it's a complete system, everything, and you turn it on when you first get it, and it boots into Amiga. And it's going to be using licensed versions of Amiga forever, OS 3.1.4, whichever version is the latest, and also AmiKit, which I think is AmiKit X. So we're going to be licensing them all fully, and it's going to hopefully be a nice little platform for people who are interested in Amigas, but you know, live in the real world and need to run Windows software or Linux software, whichever one they want to run. So that's a concept. We'll see how that goes, but more about that later on. Right, so I suppose finally, yes, I have been answering emails and so on, but I haven't been in the office very much the last 2 or 3 months. I'm just spending my time at home, but once probably next week, I'll start going back in the office preparing for the shipments to the meltwork to come out of the paint shop and start getting stuff really packed to pack up again. So should start shipping products out by the end of this month. Shouldn't take long, 4 or 5 weeks I would have thought, because there's not that many of them. So I'll get them shipped out, and then and we'll see what happens in the future. But if you're thinking of buying one, I've already got a waiting list. Email me, steve@amiga.net, or you can see it on the website. Yes, the site ordering system is shut. It's done on purpose, but I will open it up probably later. Well, no, idea probably the early to mid-March, because I want to get some of these existing orders out of the way before I open it up again. And then I should hopefully about turn around within 7 to 14 days, and that would be the plan. Once when I've got them in stock. But hopefully, if you do want one and you do want to guarantee getting one, email me, get on the waiting list. You'll be told when they're opening up again, and we'll jump in there, and hopefully you'll get one of those batch. Thanks very much again for the help. As you probably gathered, I mentioned before that I bought myself a new rig. I've got this. I've got. Well, you know the funny story on this. I'm going to do a video about this actually. Funny enough. Right. Let's do this Patreon thing. So basically, here's the thing, right? So the cases paid for themselves. The Kickstarter backers paid for all that. That was fantastic. But all this other stuff I do, the only reason I can actually do this is because of my Patreons. And I must admit, quite a lot of them are kind of ditching me, which I get it. I totally get it, because I haven't done many videos. I have tried to give them discounts on the cases and that kind of thing, but I'm going to do something for my patrons, okay? So I'm going to be doing a separate video about this, and it's going to be only on my Patreon page. So if you are a Patreon, jump on. If you was a Patreon, just turn it on for a week, so you just turn it off after if you want to. But basically, I'm going to be reviewing a load of retro machines. So I couldn't get that. Retro machines, and I'm going to be putting that on. That's if I'm going to record that after this one. And to go through my collection, I'm going to be doing some classic videos again, because I've recently, last year, it's all been about the case, and so I want to get away from that and start doing some of my classic collection videos. Of which I bought a couple more computers, so you can probably see one sitting here, which I really like. This is fantastic. I never had a Commodore 64, but it's absolutely fantastic. That is. I might do a video about this history, and so on. But I'm going to do a separate video on that, showing the machines and what I'm going to be doing videos on. So I'm looking there again. But yeah, the Patreons. Basically, not only is it paid for me to be able to buy some of the extra machines that I didn't have, it's more importantly, it's buying kit. So I've now bought myself a Canon M50, which is they call it a budget camera, but I did a ton of studying on this, the whole subject. But the M50 is actually a really good camera. When I first set it up, and I was actually, because you probably know, I've got one of these. Right, I've got one of these Samsung Galaxy 9s, and it's a fantastic phone, and I do all my videos on that. And in fact, it can do probably higher definition videos than this is natively. I mean, this will do 4K, but it's really I'm going to run it at 1080p because of the autofocus is absolutely fantastic. Although it really focuses on my face because I've got this flipping red thing. But it's things like buying. It's paid for my new camera. It's paid for my screen so I can make sure I'm in shot. It's bought my nice mic for it. It's all this money is helping me do this, and all the bits and pieces I've got for this. So also, I mean, it's silly, but this is a silly thing, but I quite like this. See that? New toys. So I bought these bulbs put up in to replace my LEDs, and they actually give quite nice restful lights. You can just change the colours, or you can turn it into a porn studio, like that. So yeah, that's quite good fun. Let's get it on that colour. Right, so yeah, so thanks to my patrons. Now on the subject of patrons, so and I'm going to mention this in the page. I'm going to do a special video for my patrons. But basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give away a case to a lucky winner. I'll explain how this works. Now, even as long as you had actually money been paid out, So as long as you haven't turned it on, because I've had a couple of people turn it on, then when it comes to paying, turn it on afterwards, that kind of thing. So as long as there's some money gone through it, which has contributed to it, I'm going to work out a way of getting that list, and I'm going to weight it a little bit more to the people who've paid a lot. So I'm not quite sure quite how I'm going to do that yet, but maybe I'm going to give them, like, you get a ticket each, and then maybe if you've put in lots of money, you get maybe 2 or 3 tickets, that kind of thing. I haven't really decided yet, but I'm going to work that out, and then I'll pick one of the patrons, and I will contact them, and they'll get a free case. So that's a way that I can say thank you. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I do actually have a load of posters. I'll probably put a screenshot of it. I do have some posters, and I've got a bunch of them left. And if maybe if there's, I think it's 25 posters, and then the first 25 people that send me their address, I'll post them for free. So maybe do some stuff like that. So, but I do want to say thank you for you guys, contributing to the channel, even if you did $1 a month or if you did $5 a month. It doesn't really matter. It's the fact that you've done it, because it's making me be able to improve things. Okay, so that's it. Waffled on forever. I don't know how long this video is going to be. But yeah, I'm also having a new ident made, so more on that soon. I haven't disappeared. I haven't run off anywhere. All the cases are shipped. I just needed to take a break. It's been a bit of a burnout time. But apart from that, speak to you soon. Thanks very much.